I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
Seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go, go, go.
Did you hear that hair?
Leading radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paulwell in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell! Well, what a weekend, huh? A lot to talk about. Sports and news and entertainment. Last night, what a show with Jim Brewer at the Stanley Theater. Great crowd. And a completely different show. And I've seen him probably, 5 times. He didn't repeat a single bit. It was all completely different. And the topics that he hit and he was able to make funny, to me it was shocking.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Very topical too, right? Did he have a lot
very
of stuff
topical.
going on now?
He stayed away from politics.
Wow, that's interesting. He does a daily. I don't know if it's daily or weekly.
I think it's every Tuesday.
He does some discussions. Essentially, I hate to say it this way. It seems like he's in a room with like a half a dozen people. He's in front of the camera, but as he's talking about things, you can hear people laughing in the background.
Yeah.
But it's not a crowd. It's just a few people, you know?
If you were at the show last night, you know this song has some meaning. I mean, he did a whole bit about the Sphere in Vegas. And he went to see the Eagles. Before the night is through. And his whole thing is that he grew up in the 80s, right? He's 59. He'll be 59. There's nothing we can do. And he said, I didn't really listen to the Eagles. I was listening to Ozzy Osbourne and all that. I didn't listen to the Eagles. So I'm like, I'm going to hate this show. So I won't tell any more of the bit because it's a funny bit. But as we're leaving the Stanley Theater, this is the song that was being played. And I can only imagine seeing it in Vegas at the Sphere. Again, if you were at the show, you know all about the bit, and it was hilarious. So this just shows you he can take he did a whole long bit that didn't feel long. It was hilarious about his wife finding Jesus and what it meant for him. She's very religious. And his impressions, his sound effects, I mean, just incredible.
Yeah, he really is awesome. It's funny, you mentioned about how some of the topics he comes up with that he makes absolutely hilariously funny.
It's just
again, his father passing in his arms.
Things in life,
like one of his funniest bits.
That was your example. Just things that have happened to him in life become major bits. So love it. Great show, great crowd. Good to see activity. Although they did say both the opening comedian and Jim Brewer were like, we were here early Sunday and we walked through your town and, their whole thing was you people don't really hang out downtown on the weekends. There are a lot of cities like that.
Yeah.
When I worked in Providence, downtown is a ghost town on Saturday and Sunday. The weekend, during the week, it's busy, so business is going on. But here, it is quiet on a Sunday.
For downtown. Sure. And look, I mean, where do they come from? Los Angeles, some big city in Florida or California.
Florida,
yeah. I mean, even when our downtown is bustling,
no doubt,
kind of slow here today.
But it is slow, and that's a weekend thing because you don't have that big population living downtown. They live outside in the suburbs. Davey.
Did he talk about the Mets?
He did not mention the Mets.
Oh,
and
okay.
Let me tell you, it's at what point is Juan Soto? I mean, last year you can give an excuse. He's just getting acclimated. There's a lot of pressure on Juan Soto, and he did kind of put the ball into play. But your complaint was when those clutch moments come up, where is he?
Right.
And there was a good example of that. First game of the doubleheader on Sunday, bases loaded. You're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and you're down 3-1. Bases loaded, and nothing. Oh! In the next game, he hit a single. But that single would have been good in that bases loaded scenario.
Now 9-19, fourth in the NFL in the National League East, and it's ugly for the Mets. It really is.
It is ugly. There is no offense.
We're not out of April yet, and the Mets are 10.5 games out of first place.
Now think about this. They once again 3-1, 3-0, 2-1.
Yeah.
They're losing. More than half of their games have been lost by under 3 runs, 3 runs and under. So 0 offense. I know there's some injuries, and I get all that, but listen, this team is supposedly stacked. Everybody should be hitting the ball, and nobody is hitting the ball. And then over the weekend, it's amazing how the phone chain begins on a Saturday night, and you hear, "Are you watching this?" The Correspondents dinner. There was a shooting at the Correspondents dinner. So you turn over and you watch the coverage, and wow, right? I mean, I got to tell you something. Did you see that guy? Did you see him? His plan was, so he was in the hotel, it looks like, and that's where apparently he had his weapons, and he literally was like, all right, I know how to get through. They're going to be there. I'm going to run through. And he ran. Did you see how fast he ran?
I did not.
Holy cow.
I watched this wall-to-wall Saturday night, and I was busy yesterday. I did not sit down and watch any video.
Unbelievable. David, did you see the video of him running? Did you see the Bills tried to draft him?
It's funny.
You got to watch the video. That is how he got through. And you have Secret Service kind of just standing there and not expecting this, and all of a sudden they had him on the ground. The other part is, I guess I didn't know they strip him down afterwards, take their clothes off to make sure they don't have anything underneath. And there was a picture of him with at least no shirt on, lying on the ground. Wow! And I thought the president's comments after, I was really surprised, because this is the president who normally rips on the media, but he actually complimented the media. And I thought his statements afterwards were very presidential. And a couple things. Ryan Nobles was there. John Decker was there. Syracuse student who works part-time at KTV, Luke Radel was there.
Oh, goodness.
Jimmy Fallon was there. And we'll speak with Jimmy at around 7:30 this morning. He actually heard first when and he was on Fox News Channel on Saturday night. He heard first that the Secret Service has him down and the threat is neutralized. So it was really something to it just was, more history unfolding during this administration. King Charles and Queen Camilla visit the U.S. And what is on that agenda? Let's go to Fox News or Fox Radio. Jonathan Savage on the line right now. Jonathan, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
So this was, I do have to tell you, I'm sure you know this story. When they lined the street with the British flag in this week leading up to King Charles's visit, we chose the wrong flag. It was not the British flag. Am I correct with that?
I hadn't seen this.
Look for this story. It's real.
Oh, right. Okay. Hope it wasn't the French flag. That could be a problem.
It wasn't the French flag. It was I forget which flag, but it's similar. It's similar to the British flag. But look into that story. But this is a moment where it looks like King Charles is going to try to mend the relationship between Trump and the UK.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be mended because Prime Minister Keir Starmer and President Trump don't see eye to eye on a lot of different things. There have been very recent disputes over the Iran conflict. President Trump has criticized British policy for a long time as well. And then there are these broader NATO tensions too. This visit explicitly designed to try and show that the relationship is going to endure. It's going to go beyond who's in power in the White House and in Downing Street at this particular time. King Charles is going to try and lead improvement in investment, economic ties, business engagement, and military cooperation, a security partnership, but also sort of soft links, tourism, education, culture. So this is very symbolic, this trip, but also there's economic, security, diplomacy, everything all wrapped up in this an incredible sense of ceremony that we're going to see.
Going to be very interesting. And how long is he in town?
So he's on a trip that's going multiple days, and then he actually wraps up his trip on the 2nd of May in Bermuda. So it's virtually a week that he's out of the country, most of this time in the United States. He's going to be in Washington addressing Congress, and then he goes up to New York to commemorate the 25th anniversary of September 11th later this year, before wrapping up his trip in Virginia, a sort of grassroots America way of looking at things after having seen the sort of political and economic powerhouses.
Going to be interesting to see where this goes. And all of this, of course, in the midst of peace talks that were scheduled, or were they? Iran says they were not scheduled. Interestingly, the announcement of that came just before the markets closed on Friday. Then over the weekend, we found that Iran had left. Now it looks like maybe Iran is back, and there may be some talks via telephone. So there's a lot to discuss.
Yeah, it's been reported that Iran has sent the United States a new proposal, and this is a proposal whereby Iran would reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. would have to end its blockade of Iran, but it would push the big nuclear issues far down the road. So it's almost a proposal to at least find a way to end the current stalemate, the impasse, which has got the world really frozen economically.
Yeah. You know, in these world affairs, we've always heard that an agreement will come when both sides get to walk away and save face. This one is difficult. It's difficult to find that scenario where both Iran and the U.S. can walk away and claim victory.
Yeah, especially if both sides feel that they can outlast the other in terms of the way that they're suffering economically or politically as a result. Now, Iran, they don't have to worry too much about the political ramifications of this. President Trump does with the midterms 7 months away. Yeah. Economically, Iran, though, is suffering hugely.
By the way, instead of the British flag, we in D.C., they flew the Australian flag. If you look into that, it's quite a flub, if you will.
Well, it's got the British flag in it, at least.
It does. It does. It's very, very similar. So, all right, Jonathan Savitz, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Let me do a quick break. Manansky does an update, and then we've got a bunch more to get to here this morning. We will speak with Jimmy Fallon on his time at the Correspondents dinner at about 7:30 this morning. Also spoke with both John Decker and Ryan Nobles over the weekend. Ryan said at no time did he feel that they were ever in danger. You do have to ask the question, don't you? How in the world, once again, was that hotel not swept? Well, he was staying at the hotel. When Secret Service comes in here, for instance, Hotel Utica, when President Trump came, or Obama or Trump who came to Griffiths, very high security, all swept. There were, you wonder about Pennsylvania. How in the world did that shooter get on top of that building? So weird. Doesn't make any sense. And in this case, once again, you have somebody who's made it through the security. I wonder how he even ever got to the point where he could make it to security. Gotta wonder.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. So are you saying that every room would be swept, like in that whole facility?
You would know everybody who was in everybody who was there. Everybody would have to be cleared. Every guest would have to be cleared. That's the protocol. It seems that when a president is going to be somewhere, I just can't imagine that once again, I would think that we're all praising Secret Service, and they certainly did a tremendous job. But wouldn't it have been better if we prevented it from ever happening at all? And you would expect that from what we feel is the greatest security service in the world. You'd expect that. I'm going to ask you with an update coming right up. Stand by. Actually, it's right now. It is 6:37.
I'll do it live. Bill.
Live!
We have cloudy skies and 40 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:38. President Trump says the alleged gunman at the White House Correspondents' dinner is very troubled. The president made the comment during an interview with the Sunday briefing on Fox News. Trump also referenced a reported manifesto from the suspect saying that he had a hatred for Christians. The Department of Justice is asking the Preservation Group, who is suing the White House over President Trump's proposed ballroom, to drop its lawsuit following that shooting incident at the Correspondents' dinner Saturday. In a letter shared online by Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, the department called on the National Trust for Historic Preservation to end what it described as a frivolous lawsuit in light of the incident, which led to the evacuation of the president and senior administration officials from the event. King Charles and Queen Camilla will visit the U.S. today. The UK's royal couple is set for a 6-day trip to the States, beginning in Washington, D.C., with a visit with President Trump at the White House coming up this afternoon. Iran reportedly has a new proposal for Washington to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. According to sources with knowledge of the effort, the plan would reopen the critical maritime passageway, and the U.S. would end its blockade of Iranian ports. Discussions about Iran's nuclear ambitions would be kicked down the road to a later date, only after the blockade has ended. The spotlight will be on the Federal Reserve as the nation's central bank announces its latest decision on interest rates this week. That happens on Wednesday, with the Fed widely expected to hold rates steady, with Jerome Powell's term as chair winding down next month. And the Stanley Cup playoffs continued with the Buffalo Sabres beating the Bruins 6-1 in action on Sunday. They take a 3-1 series lead. The Avalanche completed a sweep of the Kings. The Lightning evened their series with the Canadiens at 2 apiece. And the Ducks got a 4-3 overtime victory over the Oilers to take a 3-1 lead in that series. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:40. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Absolutely beautiful morning. A little bit on the chilly side now, as numbers for some of us starting off in the 30s. Sunshine this afternoon, a pleasant 70. Tonight, some clouds, up a few to about 45. North Country will be a little bit cooler. Next change tomorrow in the afternoon, a few showers scattered around, 67. Showers likely Wednesday afternoon, 65. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies and, chilly start, Bill. We're at 40 degrees right now.
It'll be warmer today, though, right, than yesterday. So it should be a pretty decent day. And, boy, wasn't yesterday beautiful?
It really was.
Finally, one of these nice days landed on a weekend.
Yeah, it was nice. There was no wind that ruined what would have otherwise been a nice day. And I got a lot of yard work done, so much so I woke up this morning and I went, boy, my knees really feel. And I was out there all day yesterday.
We have a new thing now when you're doing any yard work or raking or any of that stuff. You're always like, okay, you're worrying about ticks.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Constantly.
ever remember worrying about ticks. When we're rolling around in the grass as kids, we're doing, you're outside all day long. Never worried about ticks. And today it's like a big deal. And let me tell you, that Lyme disease, I know I have 2 friends who both were bitten by ticks and both got Lyme disease. And it has been, at times, it's debilitating. It really is a very difficult disease. For some, it doesn't do much. Others, it can hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
So here we are worried about ticks. I don't get it. Where'd they come from? Where did and they say this year, gonna be bad. Why? We had a tough winter. I would think this year they wouldn't be bad. But apparently.
And I saw a headline last week that said, I don't know if it was the tick rate or tick incidence or what it was, but it said there was a 70% tick bites were up 70% over last year. It's like,
what's
how?
going on?
It's the second week of April.
There is a place in Maine that has a very high rate of tick infections.
Now I'm itching, by the way.
I know.
We're talking about this. I can't
very
stop
high
scratching.
rate in this town in Maine, and what they're testing just in this town is they're basically getting in and making the ticks through DNA or whatever, making the ticks so they can't carry the Lyme disease. And they're now releasing them into the wild so that those ticks become the predominant tick, and to see if that would actually eliminate the threat from ticks and Lyme disease.
Well, it'd be interesting to see, but I guess the risk of that just means we have a bunch more ticks.
It's like
right?
it's like saying I've got a BB gun here and I'm going to shoot up into the cloud and stop this thunderstorm from happening. Right? It feels like, I mean, here's this small little town. Even that, it seems, would be like an enormous accomplishment if they could pull this off. By the way, Big Honey, the attack at the Correspondents' dinner, just another great reason for a big, beautiful ballroom of the White House. Boy, you love Trump, Big Honey. Everything that he does, you love. And by the way, if you stayed up to watch his speech afterwards, that was one of the first things he talked about, is that, this is all the more reason why we need a secure facility to hold these events at the White House in the big, gigantic ballroom.
Yeah, I do think it's a fair point.
And it probably is going to help his cause, I would think.
I think so, too. Now, this was not held at the White House.
No, this is the same place. This is the same hotel where Reagan
was shot.
Was coming in, getting out of the car, and was coming into the hotel and was shot. I believe he was coming in, not going out.
But typically, with events held at the White House and they're outside, they do it in a tent, like it's high school graduation season.
Big break. I mean, a little break, quick break, a little teeny weeny break, teeny like a tick.
I call him Honey, Big Honey.
At 6:44 at WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
It's the Spring Sales event at Clinton Tractor. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment. And trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales event going on now. ClintonTractor.net.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon,
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
Well. So the Good Feet store, if you're dealing with pain, and boy, what an endorsement from Steve Spurbeck the other day when he was on the air talking about how it's changed his life. He was at the point where he was struggling to walk, and the Good Feet store and their arch support specialists have changed his life. Pain-free currently and able to walk. It's a free, no obligation, personalized fitting. Obviously, results vary, but I've talked to more people who say it really has it's made all the difference in the world of them. There's no appointment needed. You can walk right in. The Good Feet store is located at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Again, no appointment needed, but if you have questions, 315-999-3910. Manaski, looks like you've got something on your mind.
Well, boy, where do I even go with this? Okay, first of all, I'll mention how great the weather was yesterday. You talk about good feet. My knee is sore. And I think, well, I'll leave it alone, but I should get into the Good Feet store. Good morning, Bill, Davey, and Jeff. This is on YouTube. The one and only Bill Keeler. Let's see. Bill, this is all a show. None of it is real. It's like a Hollywood CIA movie. And I do have to tell you, I am surprised at some of the people I talk to. Are
we talking about all of what's going on in Washington?
I was in a conversation with somebody recently over the weekend about the Trump shooting in Pennsylvania when he got in the ear and one of the spectators died.
Listen, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out and saying, I'm not going to go as far as to say it was staged, but we need information. There are confusing inconsistencies. We need medical information. We need information on this. I mean, that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, she is someone who's talked about conspiracies before, and she's anti-Trump right now. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about it as well.
Same thing on Charlie Kirk, and same thing on the shooting over the weekend. That incident at the Correspondents' dinner.
All right, so can we talk about?
Is this just a world of conspiracies, or are there real inconsistencies, and are we not getting enough information on these incidents?
Here's where I'm going to break from you, and I do have to tell you, Jim Brewer, you had said when we interviewed him the last time, you had said there are you get into some conspiracy theories, and he kind of downplayed it a little bit, but he did get into the moon landing, and it was a funny bit about his belief that we never did land on the moon. Now, I do not agree with that at all, but but that is what he got into. It was hilarious, but I mean, I'm like, you don't really believe this, and he's like, just you got to watch the video. And you see, nonetheless. But as for the one this weekend, I think he had a manifesto. The guy ran and stormed security, Secret Service. I wonder, how was he allowed to be in that hotel in the first place? Now, he apparently brought the guns in during the week while he was at the hotel. But at that point, during the week, you would think Secret Service would be checking everything at that point. So... and then
here's my question, and I tried to get to this earlier because I understand what you're saying, and in theory, I think I completely agree. If I'm going to a hotel where the president's going to be, I would expect they've done some kind of a screening on me, right? They know that what my citizenship status is. They know maybe if I own a weapon. They know if I have a criminal history, maybe. I would assume they run a background check on me. But to the point of bringing guns into the hotel, it's like, how detailed can they get? Like, if I'm there with my spouse, can they look at her underwear? Are they allowed to finger through her checkbook?
I do think they can. I think they can go through everything. I mean, they'll do a background check on everybody, and I'm shocked that wasn't done. It's just, I always feel like, careful what you say, because they're listening. And I wonder today, are they listening, or are the only ones they're able to listen to are people like us who mean nothing and will do nothing? The ones who are actually planning something are usually doing it on behind some sort of a firewall protecting them. Now, this guy apparently has been around with his I don't know, the president saying hate of Christians. We'll find out more. It looked like, I mean, if that's the case in the media, you have Muslims, you have Jews, you have Christians, you have Hindu, you have a host of people inside the Correspondents' dinner. But I find this one seems to be a pretty cut and dry. I don't see this as being the one controversy that I am hearing, and I also think this is explained away. The one controversy is, did you see 30 seconds, and maybe it wasn't quite 30 seconds, but everybody's saying 30 seconds. 30 seconds before President Trump got out,
I was going to
they
bring
took out
this up,
J.D.
Vice
Vance.
President. Yep.
So, but I got to tell you, on this, you have two teams, and the president, you got to think is the target. You have two teams. You have the Trump team from Secret Service and the Vance team. I was listening to a former Secret Service agent explain this, and he said they're not coordinated. Like you get Vance first, and then we'll get the president. He said it's just you're moving and acting immediately, and I think their issue with Trump is different than Vance, because Vance is very mobile. I hate to say this, 250, 6'2", or whatever they say the president is, or 220, I think is what they're saying.
6'4", 220, I think.
He ain't 220 anymore. He's put on a lot of weight, and he's very slow. His walking is slower. His mobility has slowed down tremendously. Age, it happens. Vance was out. But Trump, it took them a while to get him up. They got him up, and then as they began escorting him out, he went down. I don't know if you saw the video.
No.
Trump went down, and they had to lift him up and continue to carry him off. I saw a Secret Service agent talk about that. I didn't carry him off, but he was walking on his own, but they were escorting him, basically. But he went down. Harder to get up.
He stumbled and fell?
And fell forward. Now, remember, they're behind him. They're escorting him out. And they leave the wives behind. They leave these are the. Now, if the wife was president, they would leave the husband behind. So I don't think this is a sexist thing. I've heard that too. But the fact that Vance went out first, I just think they're two teams. They moved in quickly, and I don't think there's anything to that.
Yeah,
personally,
I agree. But that is one of the what do I say? One of the wrinkles in the conspiracy that I heard.
Yeah.
Already that it's circulating. So here's Jawick. Ready? Who I'm going to start calling Jawick Joy Reid. He says, "Yes, you idiots. It's all staged. You can't even accept reality. WTF." So. You want staging? Look at the riots in Minneapolis. Okay, so he's back on this. But guess what? If he's saying this is all staged, is the president in on it too? Are you saying the president was in on that shooting incident?
Well, of course he was, because he wants the ballroom. I mean, is that where we're going with this? Because that, to me, is ridiculous.
Well, if that's what he's saying, and the president's part of that, I mean, that's kind of like a far left conspiracy theory.
That's what they're saying about the Pennsylvania shooting.
And that's coming from Jeff Behar over here.
Yeah.
I'm criticizing Jawick a little off the tracks on a Monday morning, I think. I don't know.
Nonetheless, I'm not there with all of this conspiracy stuff. But then again, who would know?
It's funny because I think we'll have a completely different perspective on this in 2 years or 5 years from now when we look back at this. I think.
Well, we were still arguing over the shooting at JFK. We're still arguing over whether or not the landing occurred on the moon. I mean, some are.
Well, flat Earth, you want to get into that?
I mean, there's that as well. It's crazy. On the line right now. Oh, this is a interesting approach. This is Stefan. Sorry, I was trying to come up with somebody. I couldn't get you. Stefan, good morning. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Bill. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Stefan. How? What do you have on your mind this morning? What's going on?
Well, the Mets are struggling badly. They can't get a run across, and they're playing terrible ball.
Yeah, they are. I mean, defensively, they're playing pretty well. But there's no offense. It's terrible.
Yeah. And when the pitching is bad, the offense doesn't support them.
Right. No, it's awful. There's no
good
two
or bad,
ways.
The offense
there
isn't
is
supporting
no
anything.
two ways about it. So, all right, all good with you, Stefan? Question mark.
Yes, all good with me. And I'm moving on, and I know I've made mistakes in the past, but I'm above those now.
Well, you did not, in my opinion, and we talked about you this week or last week, is I don't think you did anything wrong last week at all. But, you got to walk away and just don't even say hi to anybody. Don't be polite anymore. It's not worth it. But I think this woman blew this all out of proportion and was very unfair to you, is my opinion.
Very, yes, and I'm not happy about it, and I'm not happy about the Mets, and something needs to change with the Mets managers or coaches. Something needs to give there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Stefan. All right, we'll see what happens. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
At this point, I mean, you got to blame somebody, but I don't think this is management.
Well, we saw it over the weekend. The Red
players
Sox
got to wake up.
Had a big win on Saturday, and they fired the entire staff. You can't fire the players. You can't.
Got a break. We have news coming up top of the hour.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
He'll make his first appearance in federal court today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Cole Allen, the suspected gunman in the attack at the White House Correspondents' dinner Saturday night that left a Secret Service agent wounded, spared by a bulletproof vest.
We do expect at least 2 initial charges, 1 using a firearm during a crime of violence, and 2 assault on a federal officer with a dangerous weapon, with more expected to be on the way.
Fox's Todd Pyro.
He ran past a Secret Service checkpoint in the hotel lobby and was taken down unharmed. Investigators say he was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and a number of knives, and that he was a guest at the Washington Hilton, which has played host to this dinner and several other high-level D.C. events for decades. Law enforcement sources now working to determine a motive, believing he set out to target the Trump administration.
They're also going over a manifesto Allen is said to have written and sent to family members. Despite what happened, Britain's King Charles still coming to the U.S., planning to arrive at the White House later today, with the Queen Camilla having tea with the President and First Lady. There is still a stalemate between the U.S. and Iran after talks fell through again over the weekend. Fox's Brian Yennis reports from Tel Aviv.
Iran's latest proposal to the U.S. demands that the U.S. essentially lift its blockade of ships to Iranian ports. In exchange, Iran will reopen the Strait of Hormuz to international shipping. Only then, Iran says, would it later negotiate with the U.S. about its nuclear program.
President Trump says the blockade will continue until there's a deal. The U.S. military has blown up yet another boat suspected to be smuggling drugs off the South American coast. And that was an attack that happened over on the weekend. There have been more than 50 boats attacked since this operation started in September. And in this latest attack, there were 3 alleged narco-terrorists killed. There have been more than 180 killed in the boat strikes. America's listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Russia launched another drone attack on Ukraine overnight, targeting civilian areas in the city of Odessa, injuring 14 Ukrainians after a deadly barrage over the weekend.
At least 16 people were killed over the weekend as airstrikes hit Ukraine, Russian-occupied territory, and Russia itself. The deadliest attack was in the Ukrainian city of Dnipro, where Russian missiles and drones killed at least 9. As Ukraine marked the 40th anniversary of the Chernobyl disaster, President Volodymyr Zelensky warned Russian aggression risks another nuclear tragedy, saying attack drones regularly fly over the plant, with an actual strike recorded last year. Meanwhile, at the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear facility, management report a Ukrainian drone has killed an employee. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The price of oil is moving higher this morning, about 1%, while on Wall Street, stock futures have been down modestly ahead of another Federal Reserve meeting this week to assess the economy. No interest rate cut is expected Wednesday. In the NBA playoffs,
Houston Rockets faced playoff elimination Sunday night, down 3-0 versus the Lakers, but Houston forced another game. The Rockets won by 19 points, 115-96. Game 5 is Wednesday in Los Angeles. Victor Wembanyama returned from a one-game absence from a concussion. He scored 27 points for the Spurs with 11 rebounds and 7 blocked shots. Spurs came back from 17 points down at halftime, trampled the Trailblazers 114-93 for a 3-1 series lead. The Spurs can advance with a win tomorrow at home. The Raptors tied the Cavaliers at 2 games apiece with a 93-89 win. The Celtics slammed the 76ers 128-96, 3-1 series lead. Boston can advance with another win tomorrow.
That's Fox's Jared Max. In the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche advanced, sweeping the Los Angeles Kings. Anaheim beat Edmonton in overtime to go 3-1. Buffalo went up 3-1 with a win over Boston. Tampa Bay beat Montreal to tie that series 2-2. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies and 41 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. This update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. At the state capitol, still no state budget. Another budget extender is expected to be passed today. It would be the 7th time that lawmakers have passed an emergency funding extender without passing a state budget. It was due on April 1st. So far, they've approved an additional $12.7 billion in spending on late budgets, and there are issues that need to be worked out between the legislature and Governor Kathy Hochul. The latest state budget in New York history was back in 2004 when it was 133 days late. A former employee for the town of New Hartford facing an allegation of grand larceny in the 3rd degree. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says Edgar Lopez Duran of Utica has been indicted by a grand jury on charges of grand larceny in the 3rd degree, a Class D felony, and 6 counts of falsifying business records, which are Class E felonies. Lopez Duran is being accused of stealing over $3,000 from June through September of last year, allegedly falsifying timesheets that reported he worked when he was not working, or work that was not performed. Lopez Duran is due back in court to answer the charges next month. Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti naming a new animal cruelty coordinator. The position was recently created in Oneida County. He calls it an important step forward for the county. Jamie Drymiller has been hired to that post. She'll be working together with veterinarians, shelters, rescues, and dedicated volunteers to ensure swift, compassionate response while building lasting prevention efforts through public education and responsible pet ownership. A fire Saturday at Kennedy Plaza Apartments. It's still being investigated. Firefighters arrived on scene around 3:15 on Saturday afternoon. The fire was confined to the contents of the living room in an apartment on the 12th floor. The hazmat team had to remove several e-bike batteries that were damaged during the fire. Firefighters worked with maintenance to minimize the water damage to those floors, but National Grid did shut off power to approximately 15 apartments that were affected by the water damage. The Red Cross is assisting those, and again, that fire is still under investigation, the cause of it. A fire causing damage at the Rome Elks Lodge on Sunday. Rome fire officials responding there. The cause still being investigated. The fire department said power to the building was shut off because of the damage. And plans underway to modernize fueling stations at 27 New York State Thruway service areas. The State Thruway Authority is requesting proposals for upgrades that will include new amenities and electric vehicle charging stations. The current fuel contracts are set to expire in March. The authority is looking for partners to design, build, and operate the next generation of those fueling stations. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Your Weather Center forecast is brought to you by CSEA. Behind every traffic cone is a worker doing a job with a family waiting at home. Slow down, put the phone down, and move over safely.
Absolutely beautiful morning. A little bit on the chilly side now as numbers for some of us starting off in the 30s. Sunshine this afternoon, a pleasant 70. Tonight, some clouds, up a few to about 45. North Country will be a little bit cooler. Next change tomorrow in the afternoon, a few showers scattered around, 67. Showers likely Wednesday afternoon, 65. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 42 degrees at 7:09. In sports from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, congratulations still pouring in for Utica native Mike Washington Jr. He was drafted in the NFL over the weekend, a fourth-round pick. He goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. Washington grew up in Utica, attending elementary school locally. He played his high school ball at Cicero North Syracuse, played for a couple of colleges, including Arkansas last season, where he rushed for over 1,000 yards. Baseball this weekend, the Mets swept by the Rockies in the series and, of course, in yesterday's doubleheader as well. The double dip saw the Mets fall 3-1 and 3-0. 18 innings of baseball yesterday. The Mets got one run.
It is pathetic.
3 straight losses now for the Mets. Come to City and sweep the Mets. They now host the Washington Nationals for a 3-game series that starts tomorrow. The Yankees could not get a sweep of the Astros. They fell in Houston 7-4.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
We're just going to have to move on from Senga. I don't feel anything good about Senga at all.
You know what's funny? Not funny, but I think he was the 5th starter last year, and I thought he was impressive. And then when I saw he was still the 5th starter this year, I thought, why isn't he in the 3-hole? They didn't even bump him up one spot to 4.
He can't get through he had a good first inning. Everything was bad after that. They're on to that forkball.
The Yankees could not complete the sweep, as I said. 7-4, they lose on Sunday. They did take 2 out of 3 in the series. Aaron Judge, a solo shot yesterday. Spinny, that was his 10th home run of the season. There's a typo here this morning.
You got it wrong.
6, but he's
I
actually
heard you, Davey.
10.
He
was angry.
Pounced on Manansky at 6 o'clock.
The Yankees had won 8 straight. Now they've lost 1 straight. They visit the Texas Rangers for a 3-game series that starts tonight in Arlington. What else do we want to mention here? NBA action. The Knicks are home at MSG tomorrow to take on the Hawks in Game 5. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Sunday's action saw the Raptors knot up their series with the Cavs 2-2. The Celtics blew out the 76ers to take a 3-1 lead. The Spurs rallied from behind to beat the Blazers. They lead 3-1, and the Rockets avoided a sweep against the Lakers. LA leads that series 3-1. Hockey action, the Buffalo Sabres get a 6-1 victory. They're now up 3-1 in that series. The Avalanche sweep the Kings. The Lightning 2-2 with the Canadiens. And the Ducks got a 4-3 overtime win against the Edmonton Oilers as they take a 3-1 advantage in that series.
A couple of comments. Sue this morning. News often reports that shooters have manifestos, but somehow they are never revealed. I think this one has been revealed, but I don't know for sure. I believe what was said in there, he had to kill the pedophile. Talking about Trump and the Epstein files. However, Trump has said that he hated Christians, so maybe it is important for us to see what that manifesto actually said. His numbers were way down in Butler and went up after the assassination attempt. It is something to be noted, too, that the House Republicans, looking for anything they can get, put out a tweet right afterwards, fight, 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 which goes back to the Pennsylvania shooting.
Right,
and I think was rather inappropriate, whoever put that out. But, I guess you take advantage of whatever you can take advantage of. And then I didn't know that this.
So just real quick, there's a lot of stuff I think the government hides, and there's stuff going on that we don't know about, and we can talk for hours about that. But if the idea, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying we're really in trouble if the government, protection agencies like Secret Service or CIA or FBI is colluding with the president to stage assassination attempts that aren't real,
or colluding
American civilians are dying in the course of this. Like, we're beyond repair if this is really happening.
Or colluding to allow something to happen to the president.
Yes.
That's also part of one version of the conspiracy. Mike this morning says, and I didn't know this was an issue. I hope the new proposed gas stations on the Thruway don't mimic what they did with the rest areas that were put in. If so, they'll have gas pumps pushed closer together, like the narrowness of the buildings, and only offer 2 pumps rather than the amount they currently offer to mimic the few amount of toilets that they currently have. Are they putting new pumps in?
Yes, the story I had here, they're taking proposals. Apparently the fuel contracts expire in March of next year. And so they're taking proposals for designs, layouts, and what's the word I want to use? Service for those fueling stations. And they want a lot of EV, electric vehicle stations.
But how could you put the electric stations by the gas stations? I don't think that would work there, would it?
By the gas pumps or the gas station?
By the gas pumps.
Yeah, well, I think they'll have a separate area.
Okay.
I think
they currently do. There are, 4 or 5 of them out in the parking lot area. As opposed to, but there are only 4 or 5. So where are you going? Although I got to tell you, those 4 or 5 or 6, whatever there are, they're often open and empty. There aren't a lot of electric cars on the road.
That land where what did we used to call the pull off the stations the
rest areas?
Thank you. Yeah. Rest areas. Is that state owned or is that privately owned?
I think the facilities are privately owned. The businesses that are in there obviously are privately owned, but I think that's state property.
I just wonder why.
Because it's that swath of land that is the Thruway all the way through. I would assume that's state owned.
Maybe this it does happen at some of those locations. It would be state owned
because they're asking for.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah.
Why don't they have the solar charging the panels? Why isn't that up there? And couldn't that just feed the EV stations? You know what I mean? Often they talk about upstate and they want to use farmland for it. Why not use the property they own that's already commercially designated?
Are we at some point going to have everybody will have like a solar thing on the top of their car where when you're driving it's actually charging your battery, or maybe your roof is the solar panel? And it's.
I've said that before.
Right? I don't know why that couldn't happen.
Solar panel technology.
Clearly, neither one of us have any knowledge or degree in any of this. So, but that's how ideas happen. But I can't imagine we're the first to say, "Why not put the solar panel on top of the car?"
Right. You wouldn't need to plug in a parking lot. You would just park in the parking lot.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be free? Other than buying the.
Well, that's the other thing too. We've talked about conspiracies.
Speaking of conspiracies,
there's plenty out there.
They had a car that would run on gas or run on water, but boy,
would take the hydrogen out and dispose of the water.
The oil industry got rid of that one. All right, a quick break coming up. We'll speak with Mary Finnegan, who's going to be in studio. Jimmy Fallon in a few minutes, host of Fox Across America, noon till 3 every day on WIBX. And Jimmy was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We'll get his take on all of it. And actually witnessed Secret Service. And as they were at least commenting on taking him down, we'll get to that. Dennis Gordon is in the North Country running for the 117th Assembly seat. We'll speak with him. And Davey this morning, Hobika's free money question is worth a whopping what here this morning?
$100.
Just $100?
Yeah.
A mere bag of shells.
Let's make it $1.50. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay. All right. I should have been going higher. It seems pretty easy. All right, $150. We'll do Hobika's free money question at about 7:37 this morning. So get ready for that.
Looking for a reliable ride without the brand new price tag? Then spring into savings at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer and explore our incredible lineup of Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're hitting the road for weekend getaways or just upgrading your daily drive, every Car Bravo vehicle is backed by a certified warranty and low financing options, so you can drive with total confidence. Right now, qualified buyers can take advantage of fresh spring offers, including 0% financing for 36 months or as low as 4.9% for 72 months. Plus, Car Bravo vehicles come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty on over 30 different models from 13 different manufacturers. But don't wait. These spring savings won't last long. Together, let's drive to Steep Pawnee Chevrolet, where it's always easy to do business. Visit us on State Route 28 in Herkimer or online anytime at SteepPawneeChevy.com. Credit must qualify top tier through GM Financial. All taxes and fees due on delivery. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2026. See salesperson for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big 3 carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55-plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service. With 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50-plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call. Ask about the 55-plus plan you've earned. See how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the 3rd straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative Elise Stefanik are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
If you're looking for smart, balanced talk to wrap up your day, tune in to The Guy Benson Show. Weeknights at 7 will break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and the media with sharp analysis, lively interviews, and a dose of humor. From Capitol Hill to the day's hottest headlines, we bring you the facts and the conversation behind them. If you miss it during the week, catch the weekend edition Sunday afternoon starting at 1. That's The Guy Benson Show, weeknights at 7 and Sundays at 1 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
trying to check out the forecast for the next 10 days. And you're saying, I mean, today we're going to be close to 75 degrees today. It's going to be a nice day with a lot of sunshine. And then tomorrow starts out decent and then turns to rain. But I'm just trying to see where. Then it's 67 is the high. Thursday's high is only 49, so it is going to cool off.
For
you
sure.
said next Monday will be chilly.
Well, yeah.
As of right now, though,
I was mentioning County Clerk Mary Finnegan is in studio, and you guys were talking about. I think Davey might have started this, but said something about snow in the near future, and I was agreeing that when I had looked at the forecast, the extended forecast, and as we always say, it changes 9 times. When I looked on Saturday, I believe, it said next Monday, a week from today, there was a snow icon, and it said a high of 43. Now, as I look at it now,
I'm showing 61 on
it's
Monday.
A rain icon, and my phone says 52. See,
this is I'm looking at at a different app than you're looking at.
Yeah.
So Saturday now is that cold day, 49 degrees on Saturday. But let me tell you though, one thing to keep in mind. When we did we did this last week, when we did the long-term forecast last week, there was no 70-degree day in here. Not even, it looked like low to mid 60s and 50s. And all of a sudden, as the week went on, it might warm up on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And sure enough, we had a really decent Saturday, and now hitting into the 70s today. So I think the weather changes so often. It's hard to look at the long range.
Yeah, and I think there's so many variables included in there. And as I say before, as I've said before, the only people who can be wrong 50% of the time keep their jobs, meteorologists and youth baseball umpires.
In studio right now is Oneida County Clerk Mary Finnegan. Good morning, and I know I just recently redid my registration. Pain in the neck to do it on the state's website. That we don't have you, and I finally had to.
Yeah, when they need you, they have you. If they need to get a hold of you, they have you.
If it's taxes, they have all your information.
Yeah.
But I finally had to go out and get my license plate, put in the license plate, and that connected it.
Yep.
But otherwise, nice and tight if you could on that mic.
Oh yes.
Otherwise, but you're saying there's a new program and they're working on it.
They are. So in February, as most people know, we had a new system called Drives that's handling the licensing end of the DMV. They moved merged millions of documents together, and it didn't go well, to say the least. So it did not go well. Lots of issues.
Right around the time they made me sign up, and I had to create a new account.
Right.
Because it was already there for taxes.
Yes.
So they're trying to merge everything. So if
they're trying to merge. You're talking millions and millions of records.
There should be one ID, right, for everything that you do with the state. But instead, prior to this, you'd have a tax ID, you'd have a DMV ID, whatever else you do.
Yes. So, what we thought and what we will hope to see in the next phase, which is in the next few years, they really need to ask us what we think. I mean, we are the end user. We are using the system every day, and we could have been a great asset. Another thing they never offered was in-person training. Everything was done virtually, which is very difficult to learn that way. I have to say my employees have done a great job. We've really come together. It's really improved. But, my problem was, look, we've come so far since I became county clerk. Our wait times are down to practically nothing, and I'm not going back. I'm not going back to the days where, people were waiting in line all day long. So I reached out to Joe Griffo and to our state liaison, Kathy Sharkey, with a list of things that we felt were our priority that needed to be fixed. And I have to say they were very responsive. Commissioner Schroeder was here, and they're really working on it, and they're working with us. So we're hoping that a lot of these problems are resolved.
So this now, under one ID, does that would include DMV, tax, how about child support? And
well, no, those departments are all
different.
separate.
Okay.
Right. This is really just has to do, and the Drives
Easy
portion.
Pass, so your Easy Pass
yes,
would be
your
under
Easy
this?
Pass would be, well, we don't issue Easy Pass because that's something the state's not, it was too complicated with the state, so they've kind of taken that away from most DMVs, unless you're a state-issued DMV.
So do you need a separate account?
Yes.
To Easy Pass.
Yes.
Still? Okay.
It's a difficult system.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
And like I said, if they had if they had really worked with us, I think it would have gone a lot smoother. So I'm
Easy
hoping in the
Pass
next phase.
seems to be a national program.
Yes.
Right. Because you see it all
different.
over.
It's everywhere.
Different states.
Correct. There's, go
go
ahead. I also want to point out there's been I don't know if a lot of people have seen this. I know several people have reached out to me. There's a fraud going around. If you're getting a text message, if you ever get a text message from the DMV saying that, you have outstanding citations, and if you don't pay them by a certain date, your registration is going to be revoked. That's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible thing, but, especially older people, if they're getting that, they panic. They immediately click on it, and then all kinds of problems ensue. So please don't click on anything you see from the DMV. They're never, ever going to text you. That is a scam.
I just had to put my my registration I got in the mail, and you have to stick it on. What a pain in the neck that was. First of all, it's an SUV, so someone my height is,
Bill needed a ladder.
He's challenged.
There's
He's
a challenge.
registration challenge.
It's a challenge, but the area where you put the sticker and the dash, the windshield and the dash,
they come together,
are so narrow now that it's hard to get in there, and all of a sudden you've got your registration's like tilted and crooked and cockeyed. So, but I think I got it. So it looks pretty good. So not easy.
Not easy
for me. Maybe other people.
Can I ask a question about if I go to the DMV? I can't remember on forms I filled out before. Is there anything that asks about what my citizenship status is? And is there?
It depends what you're doing.
Yeah.
Of course. They're not going to ask you that if you're registering a car. If you're voting, they might ask you that. If you're filling out the portion to vote. Yeah. Not everything.
That's what I was getting to, because we hear this often. I mean, I guess we've kicked around a couple conspiracies already this morning, but one is that, you hear that illegal immigrants in this country are allowed to vote. That is the claim, and that the way that it is done is through DMV registration. So do you know, do you think only there's only a citizenship question if you look to register to vote through the DMV?
My understanding.
Okay. Yeah. I was just curious about that as we were talking about registering and everything else. As a matter of fact, I've got to get down there this week because my registration is expired.
Well, if you're a worker and there's a chance that you would be an immigrant with paperwork or without, where you may have a driver's license, right?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely a driver's license.
Oh, definitely.
Which is absolutely allowed in New York. But the question being, are you, because the claim has been made that people get a license, and now that you can register to vote through the DMV, they claim that there's hundreds of millions or tens of millions of people who are not eligible, should not be eligible to vote, that are registered to vote and casting ballots. So, it's a conspiracy edition of Keeler in the Morning.
Yeah, we're uncovering many different conspiracies. I'm not sure. This is Mike. Mary gave the DMV commissioner a bare-bottom spanking at the train station when he was there, figuratively, not literally. So I think what he's saying is you were tough.
Yes, I was tough with the. Listen, there's some things that are going wrong with the system that are affecting people's livelihoods.
Yeah.
And, as a servant of this county, I feel it's my responsibility to point those out.
Right.
And who else to point it out to? Stand up for the people. And it's a state system, and he should be held accountable. I think he was great about it. I think he's taken ownership of it. Had a meeting with him Thursday again over Skype. He's here. He wants to hear. He wants to help. So
we've had him on the air, and I think he's really trying.
He really is trying, and he's just a really kind person, and he wants to help. So I think that says a lot. And the fact that he keeps reaching out and he's listening, I'm really hoping that a lot of these problems are fixed. And it is better. Yeah. It is definitely better than it was the first 4 weeks. But, we're going to continue to reach out, and we're going to continue to say what's wrong, because that's my job.
Well, it is frustrating. I consider myself pretty technical. I'm good on a computer. I'm good with software. I'm good maneuvering through. I mean, our tickets were second row for Jim Brewer. I mean, that's not easy to do with Ticketmaster. You got to be able to maneuver.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I thought it was. Even my wife was impressed. She's like, "You got these?" I'm like, yeah. Huh? Check it out.
Did you have an AI bot hacking into the system?
But they do. That's the problem. There are break-ins and hacks. Yeah. So everything has so much verification now. It is a pain in the neck.
It is.
And that, I got to tell you, that DMV was tough to work through.
I'm sorry about that. We are working
You're
on
working on it.
Oh, yes.
But it's not
100%.
you, though. This is
no,
not
it's not.
Oneida
We're a
County.
county run. We're not a state run. The state runs us. So we have to abide by everything they say, and we are really trying to work with them to make it a good experience. We've come so far. We want to stay there.
I'll just point out that effective tomorrow, the state budget will be 4 weeks late, and they haven't had an on-time budget since 2011. So it was maybe naive to think this was going to go smoothly.
I got to say, you brought up going to the DMV. I remember as a kid having to go to the DMV. I'm from Herkimer County, so we would go to Herkimer County, go to the DMV with my parents, or my mother would have to go because my father was working. It would be during the day, and that was such a chore. It was so difficult. And I think, they certainly have improved. Oneida County, it reminded me when I lived in Providence, where the lines were just so long to get through. But the improvement over at the train station has really been tremendous.
Thank you so much.
It's much different
myself
now.
and my staff are working diligently every day for sure.
Well, that's a good thing. So,
Thank
all right,
you.
anything else you want to add?
I do want to add one thing. My good friend and your good friend, Dana Olney.
Yes.
She called me one day because her mom is in a facility. She's in a nursing home, and she was looking to get a real ID, a non-driver's ID, because she just wanted one, which I think, is great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she has a hard time making her way down to the DMV, and for whatever reasons, her license had expired. Her picture was more than 16 years old. She would have had to have come in person, which is, a monumental task. So I really got to thinking about that. I've been reaching out to nursing homes, some long-term facilities, and I'm really hoping that that's something that we're bringing in the future is a remote service to go to those facilities.
That would be nice, especially if you have someone in a facility who's trying to transfer something over, or they want to...
They need it for Medicaid. They need it for so many reasons. They need that non-driver's ID, and it's very difficult to obtain. So I just want to say that we are working
on it.
Oh, absolutely. That's
right.
something we see in the future.
All right, good stuff. We really appreciate it. Great job over there.
Thank you so much.
Mary Finnegan, Oneida County Clerk. I'm going to quickly switch gears and head to New York City, or somewhere close. The man, Jimmy Falla, on the line right now. James, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Of course, man. Happy to be back in New York. I never thought I'd be safer in Mamdani's New York than I was surrounded by the Secret Service, but here we are.
So I do know that you were being interviewed on Saturday night because you literally witnessed some of what the Secret Service had to say.
Oh yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
So we were on the red carpet doing our show, and the shooter, the guy that got taken out, ran right through our area. I had just wrapped and was going to break, and he went through the same magnometers that I did to get into the ballroom. So it was pretty wild, Bill, because the running joke is that I was literally just going to the ballroom during a commercial break to get a roll, because I was going to be live on TV for 3 hours, and I just wanted to eat something.
You got to carb up there,
the minute I got the roll, the Secret Service threw me on the ground, and I thought it was Fox Wardrobe. I was like, oh, they really don't want me eating bread. This
no
TV
carbs
is
for you.
Serious.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And then they, of course, worked the whole freaking thing out. But it was nuts, man. Pretty wild.
Were you wearing your red? I didn't see. Were you wearing your red tux?
No, I was wearing
okay, all right.
Some blue tuxedo from my overweight figure skater collection, but it worked.
Listen, it is. I find, and you tell me. I mean, there are a lot of conspiracies going on right now. Everybody's got a theory, but how in the world did that guy get those guns into the hotel during the week? I mean, when an event is happening, don't they?
Bill,
go ahead.
No. Let me just jump in. So the answer to how the hell did he get it in? We checked into the hotel Wednesday night because we had to go to the White House Thursday and shoot some interviews.
Yeah.
We rolled into that hotel at 1 a.m, came right through the front door.
Oh my God.
There's not a security guard. There's nothing. There's just a bellhop. It's 1 a.m. And the problem is the hotel functions for two purposes that week.
Right.
It's obviously open to the public and they're not subjecting the public to the same scrutiny as the people attending the dinner. Now, that's obviously incorrect, but what I'm trying to say is if you would have saw me, Vic, and my producer, Max, I drove down, we pull up at like 1 a.m. in my Bronco. We get out, we have 7 bags apiece. I was holding, just so you understand, a box of shoes under my arm with a garment bag pinned. I had it under my chin. So my chin was pinning a bag to my chest. I had 3 other bags and a box of shoes. I walked through the front door. No one said a word.
Wow.
Max and Vic, have you ever seen those motorbikes in India where there's 17 people on the back of them?
Yes.
And they're balancing fruit on their head?
Yes.
Max and Vic were essentially doing that, and we just walked right in and went to our rooms. There was
unbelievable.
no nothing.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh no, starting on Sunday of the week before, Secret Service is there, everyone is vetted. None of that.
Not at that hotel. And I will say this, because I've been to that dinner 4 times. It really was the least scrutiny I've ever seen. Under Biden, when we were doing our red carpet interviews, the dogs came around like every 5 minutes. And I just remember that because my staff was nervous that he'd smell their drugs, you know. But this time around, we saw like one of those. There were, there's circles of security surrounding Trump. There's about 10 layers of perimeter. But this guy was able to bypass 8 of them by just being in the hotel and taking the elevator down to the level.
Wow.
So it was pretty nuts, man. And, he wouldn't have, in theory, made it into the room. There was enough security, but he was, just so we're clear, tackled 20 feet, maybe 10 feet from the room. Like if he made it to those doors, he was in the ballroom.
What is your thought on the, I'm just going to you're my conspiracy man today. Are you ready? This is perfect. What are your thoughts on the people saying, boy, did you see they took, and the timing is different. I heard 30 seconds. I watched the video. It's not 30 seconds. But they took Vance out before President Trump. See, there's something to that. I don't think there's anything to that. You have 2 teams. You have the Vance team. You have the Trump team. They just all went into action. Your thoughts on that?
Well, one is that Trump didn't want to leave. Okay. So I do think that's an issue. The other is, this is crazy when you talk about security teams, because I was in the room for this. Okay. If you are a cabinet member and you're there with your wife, she's not a cabinet member. You are. Okay. I bring this up because they literally swoop in. They grab Bobby Kennedy and start dragging him over tables. And Cheryl Hines is just following them completely on her own, in a dress, in heels, climbing over tables, climbing over chairs, but they're all coming in from different directions just based on where you're sitting. So there's nothing to that. It was wild, but it was, there's always going to be people, this is like, it was set up so he could build his legal ballroom. His ballroom is going to be built. It's going to be legal. And every president that comes next is going to use it. And it's funny because I will tell you this. I had a package. I interviewed Jackie Heinrich at the White House the other day before I met the president.
Yeah.
And I had, in my interview with her, we were talking about the ballroom. And she's extensively talking about how we need it for security. Some of these big events are crazy. Never mind that it'll be a lot easier to get in and out of the place. And it's so crazy because if that would have aired before the shooting, no one has seen that video. They'd get that this was not, some elaborate setup. It was some nutbag who wanted to kill the president.
Yeah, and that's totally, I feel like this, you maybe in Pennsylvania, you can look at that and be like, well, why they let him on the garage in the first place? And I understand that one. This one seems to be cut and dry, a nut job that just wanted to kill the president.
If you read all the manifestos and all of that jazz, that's what you're dealing with. Yeah.
Manasseh.
Well, I just wanted to ask about in the immediate aftermath. You talked about President Trump not wanting to cancel the event. There were initial reports. Actually, I saw it on Fox that it was Trump will come back to dinner. Trump to return to dinner, like everything was going to go on as normal. But obviously, security said, no, we can't do that. So what happens there? I mean, do people... Have I lost her? Do people sit down and I'm sorry, my headphones came unconnected. And actually have the dinner? Is all that food wasted? Does the bar stay open? I'm sure you would be the one to ask about that. What happens after the event is canceled? What did you guys do?
I'd be getting drinks from other people's tables.
So, in all honesty, a lot of people did take the wine off their tables. and bring it with them, which is pretty customary at that dinner, for real.
Yeah.
What they do, like they have a lot of wine and champagne and stuff like that, depending on the news organization. If you're with like Newsmax, it's like malt liquor. You know what I mean? It's like Old English. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm being silly. That's funny.
Lordy.
Whatchamacallit. So a lot of people do take the booze, okay? The bars don't remain open because they didn't want people congregating in the lobby,
right.
especially knowing that the shooter was a hotel guest. But the other thing I will tell you is that the food gets donated to local food banks in D.C. They don't like throw it away.
Okay.
It's that much food. It's literally... I heard them say 2,500 people in the ballroom. There's no way it isn't more than that because it's always packed, but it was additionally packed this year. Additionally, like every inch of that room, you could not move in. And that was the thing.
It's really interesting, too, because this could have all changed because Trump, there was a wonder whether he would have gotten back from Mar-a-Lago. So he was in Florida earlier in the day. And imagine if he didn't show up and this guy had all this stuff planned. He's like, now who do I kill? Yeah.
Well,
talk about fast, though, Jimmy. He was lightning fast.
The guy running?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, if the Jets had one of those guys, we'd have a shot. The Bills, your offense is not an issue for you Bills fans, but down here. But give me this really quick, fast. The Secret Service, just so you know, because I went right through that same magnometer that he ran through, okay? There are multiple agencies. There's hotel security, okay? There is local police. There's Secret Service. And then there are these black clothes people that are members of Trump's detail that you don't know what they are, but they're carrying machine guns.
I saw that on the video. Guys in tuxedos with machine guns.
Yes, whatever you think this guy's speed was, like if you could have saw theirs in the room. So understand, when there's an attack on the president, a physical threat, that's the only time that group springs into action. And so just randomly, like I was in the room and you heard, what everyone is describing is the sound of dropping dishes and stuff like that. And about 30 guys, I mean in under a second, sprinted from the back of the room to the front of the room. They were climbing over tables, shoving people, doing it. And that speed was like stunning. But I thought, Bill, honestly, I thought that was an attack on Trump. I didn't think that was Secret Service. I thought, oh my God, what is this? And when they picked him up to leave, if you guys watch the videos, you'll notice when they grabbed him, he fell down immediately. So my concern was like he had already been hit by something and was unable to stand. And it was really freaky. Yeah. And it ended with me. There were 3 sobbing Guatemalan waitresses that were about 2 feet tall each. And I was holding them in my arms behind a pillar. And, it's kind of how I was hoping my night would end. I just didn't want there to be shooting involved.
Who would have thought it would have had that twist, right? I mean, wow. I never thought about that with Trump going down. So is there escorting that he goes down? I never thought maybe he has been hit.
From my angle, I absolutely, I just saw, it was really weird, man, but they were sprinting at him, those black ops people, and they're not wearing gear. So I was like, oh shit, is this like some weird Antifa thing? Excuse me. But yeah, it happened. It was an assassination attempt. What do you want from me?
That is right. Listen, this is tense stuff. There's passion here. That is, listen, I so appreciate your account of what happened and from your perspective. But man, you were there. Wow.
Yeah, it was intense, and the guy I feel bad for in all of this is Davey, because he would have loved those women. There were some nice women.
Yeah, he would have.
Scenery in that room.
He'll be dreaming about it tonight. I'm just telling you. So, all right, you can hear Jimmy and the rest of this story today noon till 3:00 here on WIBX. Really appreciate the update, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
You're the best. Love you guys.
Right, have a good one. Thank you, Jimmy Fala. Wow. Good grab, Davey. I thought of Jimmy the other night because the first time we brought him up through the IBX without the comedy club was at the Stanley, and that's where Jim Brewer was performing, and probably where we'll bring him the next time, because I expect an even larger crowd the next time he comes up. Big stuff right there. 746. Let's do Hobica's free money question of the day and bring in our candidate here. He is Dennis Gordon. Is from the North Country, running for the 117th Assembly seat. And what do you want? $150, Davey. And caller number, let's make it easy. What do you want? 3. Caller 5. All right. He says 5. Fifth caller right now. 7360186 315-7360186.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Looking for an insurance agency that treats you like family? Look no further than WB Payne Insurance, a family-owned and operated agency serving the community for over 65 years. At WB Payne Insurance, they understand that family comes first, and they're here to protect what matters most to you. Whether it's your home, your car, or your business, they've got you covered. WB Payne Insurance. Learn more or get a quote today by visiting WBPayneco.com. WB Payne Insurance, protecting your family like it's their own, with smart solutions to save you money.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Mike this morning. Oops, the taxi cab guy came out of Jimmy, dropping the S-bomb.
Does he not normally do radio? Is that what's the problem there?
Well, I think
I know you couldn't swear on morning radio.
Here's how I look at it. He feels so comfortable with us that he's just being himself.
Could be.
Try to take that as a positive. But I think I got it here. Yeah, I think I got it. I think we're good on the radio part. Because this FCC commissioner, you don't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
We'll be in big trouble. I think they put you in handcuffs and a fine. So everything else on the app, if you're offended by that, I apologize. But it is, listen, it's the heat of the moment stuff we're talking about.
It's a live show.
Time for Hobica's free money question of the day. It is worth $150 this morning. And it comes from Joseph and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600. Sandy is in Utica. Ready to take a shot? Sandy, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You have 7 seconds to answer, so make sure you get that answer right in there. And Here is your question. New York State is the Empire State. Who gave us that nickname? Ready? Go.
Oh, my God.
Pick a name.
It was that governor, I thought.
Well,
no.
Turns out it was actually George Washington. Nick. So I was thinking,
wasn't even close.
But there's a shot there that you would have been like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a historical figure. George Washington, I don't know. Well, all right, Sandy, we are going to give you movie passes. Glenwood Movie Plex in Rome Cinema 8. You stand by and Davey has you all taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Sandy, have a great day. Thank you so much. In studio right now is Dennis Gordon. Dennis is already on camera. I think we got that all set up. Wave to them on YouTube, Dennis. Good morning to you. And really tight. You got to be literally touching the mic.
Right to you.
Yeah.
That good? Yes, that's perfect.
Maybe if you tilt, see that little thing right there? Yeah. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, tell us about you. First of all, you're running in the 117th Assembly seat currently held by Blankenbush, North Country, and parts of Rome. I don't think parts of Burke are Rome anyway.
Yes, parts of County, Florence, Ava, Boonville. Yes.
Okay.
You got Camden, Sylvan Beach.
Okay.
All the way up to St. Lawrence, just shy of Messina.
All right, we're going to have to ask you to leave. Your voice is much lower than ours, and sorry, you're ruining everything for us. So.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough youth. Little bit of a rough youth gave me, a face and a voice for radio.
Okay, well, that's
a couple scars here and there.
You're doing just fine. So tell us about you. Running as a Democrat.
Yeah, I'm running as a Democrat, largely because, well, they are the party platform that is most inclusive of the things I want to do, because I'm amazingly in accordance with the Democratic platform as a whole.
You're a son of a military person, right? Fort Drum?
Yep, both parents. Son of 2 veterans. My dad got out of the service when my older sister was born, so he's been kind of around, but he's still always been military adjacent. He works on post with doing something with ammunition.
Yeah,
and I don't ask any further questions.
Okay, fair enough.
And my mom, she finished out her entire 20 years of service, and then retired, and then got another communications career that's also military adjacent.
Okay, that's how it kind of works.
Yeah. She got her master's in computer communications, from what I understand, directly computer infrastructure and things like that. And then we've been bouncing around from Texas to Germany to Fort Drum, and I've been here for the last 14 years now. Time starts flying when you get older. You never believe your parents when they say that. And then
it's real.
Then you find yourself saying, "Yeah, it's been 14 years."
Yeah,
but yeah.
So you say the it fits into what you want to accomplish. What do you want to accomplish if you're elected to the assembly?
Well, there's a series of things. The first is healthcare access. I was at Claxton Hepburn in Ogdensburg on Saturday, I think it was, and they are always on the brink of closing. Same with Carthage Area Hospital. I was at an event to help them as well not too many weeks ago here, and that kind of always on the verge of bankruptcy, always on the verge of something terrible happening, of the thousands of people that rely on each of these facilities not having access to them.
Especially in the North Country, I mean...
Yeah, the distances start getting intense really quickly. I know I had to have surgery on my neck and throat because my sleep apnea got so bad it was starting to choke me when I was asleep.
Okay.
And it was like, we got to send him to a specialist. And the sleep studies and things like that took place in Syracuse because there was no place nearby.
Right.
And the surgeries had to take place in Samaritan, I think it was. And that's a full day off of work for both my parents. That's the whole thing. And then it's another 2-hour drive with stitches in the back of my neck.
Yeah, it's hard.
To home after that. And people who are of advanced age, I know I've been having conversations with people saying their doctors have been laid off or they can't make the journey past a certain distance because they have seizures or anything like that.
And they just wouldn't take care of the problem.
They would.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm running for a Democratic ticket is because the free hand of the market is kind of the Republicans' whole thing. And the free hand has kind of dealt these people a pretty firm middle finger at this point. And it's like...
You think fewer regulations and...
Well, I think fewer regulations would help, but I think money helps a lot.
Yeah.
And the financial investment in hospitals is kind of unfortunately lopsided due to how the fact every party involved in medicine wants to have their cut. The pharmaceutical companies wants to have their cut. The insurance companies don't want to give you any money. You have to charge like 4 to 5 times as much just to get the insurance company to actually cover the operation. And it's like, if the only way you can make money operating a medical facility is to have like monopolistic integration, like CVS got in trouble for earlier, I think last year, then that's not a sustainable model. If you need to be a monopoly to make money, then the free market here is not really helping, because at that point, you can just shaft the customer at every stage of.
And I think your problem, that what you're talking about, is not exclusive by any means to the North Country. It's all over. I mean, we see it right here. It's like every hospital seems to be in some sort of financial distress and difficulty. I got about 2 minutes, so I want you to be able to get everything in. Bail reform, that seems to be a really big issue right now. Did we go too far with bail reform, and would we have done a better job had we consulted the judges, the DAs, the jail systems, etc., the sheriffs?
I think the bail reform has kind of the same issues as DOJ. I don't think anyone would disagree with the mission of DOJ to cut government waste, but haste makes waste, because I think they should have consulted with judges and DAs and prison officials, because at the moment they were so desperate to relieve some of the pressure from people who felt they were getting a wrong hand. Most people can't even afford a $500 unexpected offense, so it's like getting arrested might mean losing your job.
Yes,
and that's unacceptable.
And arrested, you're innocent until proven guilty, and you may be sitting in jail for quite some time.
For who knows how long. But judges are meant to be making decisions like that of, this guy's not a flight risk. He's not a danger to the community. He's not going to go anywhere. We can give him a low monitoring status. He calls in. He makes sure all that is going. But things like that are like directly in my mind.
All right, and I got to tell you, the second Democrat who has been in studio, who I think has a platform that's very similar, could be moderate and would be close to what many Republicans, upstate especially, upstate, downstate, two different animals here. Last thing, you've got like 30 seconds. What do you want people to know? And we'll have you back.
The major issue, at least for me, is keeping young people and expertise in the region. I know a lot of the people I went to high school with, I went to my first 2 years of college with in Jefferson Community College, disappeared from the region immediately after they finished their education. And that's largely because there's no space for them here.
Opportunity.
His
name is Dennis Gordon. Your name is Dennis Gordon. We appreciate the time and hope you come back again.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
And we appreciate you coming in studio. It's a trip. Quick break. We have news coming up top of the hour at 8 o'clock.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
He wrote a lot. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The suspected gunman who tried to get into the White House Correspondents' dinner Saturday night, Cole Allen, wrote a manifesto he sent to family members just before, and Fox's Todd Pyro reports.
He also allegedly shared a number of anti-Trump and anti-Christian posts on social media, with the New York Post reporting that those posts got more aggressive when U.S. support for Ukraine waned. And we're also learning that after the shooting, family members of the suspect allegedly told authorities that he frequently made political statements and said he, quote, planned to do something.
President Trump was at that dinner and tells CBS 60 Minutes.
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
Allen's due in federal court today to face 2 initial assault and firearms charges. A Secret Service officer who was shot's been released from a hospital saved by a bulletproof vest. After all that drama Saturday night, there were some second thoughts about whether King Charles should come to the U.S. They've decided to keep the plan, so the King and Queen will arrive today and have tea at the White House with the President and First Lady.
It also comes amid tension between President Trump and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The president has criticized the British leader's decision not to join military operations operations against Iran and has threatened the UK with fresh tariffs. In addition to a lavish state dinner here at the White House, the king will also deliver an address to Congress.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. That address will be tomorrow. Iran's foreign minister is in Russia, blaming the U.S. for another breakdown in negotiations.
Because of the excessive demands they made and the incorrect approaches they adopted.
Iran is offering to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to shipping if the U.S. stops blocking Iran's ports, which President Trump says he won't do until there's a nuclear deal. He tells Fox's Sunday Briefing.
We have all the cards. If they want to talk, they can come to us or they can call us.
America's listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Virginia's Supreme Court has a hearing this morning over redrawn districts that could give Democrats more House seats in the November elections.
There are multiple lawsuits against Virginia's congressional redistricting effort, and most were filed before voters decided last week to approve a temporary redraw of their congressional map favoring Democrats. The Virginia Supreme Court previously said despite the lawsuits, the vote could proceed, and if it passed, they would deal with the challenges. Today, they hear arguments in Scott versus McDougal. Republican State Senator Ryan McDougal sued Virginia House Speaker Don Scott, alleging Democrats violated established procedures in order to pass a constitutional amendment. After voters approved the measure, McDougal also sued to void the vote, and Tazewell County Judge Jack Hurley issued a ruling nullifying the election results. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Two wildfires keep burning in southeast Georgia. They're still barely contained. Combined, they've charred 77 square miles and destroyed more than 120 homes. There could be more stormy weather today in the Midwest and Mississippi Valley after tornadoes twisted apart areas of Oklahoma last week and then Texas over the weekend.
The National Weather Service confirms at least 2 tornadoes touched down in North Texas Saturday night. One person is reported to have been killed, with 6 hospitalized and about 20 families displaced in Wise County, where the first stronger tornado hit. An EF2 on the ground for about 4 minutes, a half-mile wide, traveling nearly a mile and a half. And EF1 hit about a half hour later in neighboring Parker County, where a woman was found dead in the debris of a badly damaged mobile home. Chris Foster, Fox News.
The price of oil is up slightly this morning. At the gas pump after a recent price break, the inflation may continue during this Iran conflict.
For now, I think it's more likely prices will rise, maybe substantially.
That's industry analyst Tribbley Lundberg. Her survey of gas stations has regular at $4.14 per gallon. AAA's national average $4.11, 7 cents higher than a week ago. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, down a bit for the Dow, up a little bit for the NASDAQ before this week's trading. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have some sunshine now, 43 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Still, no budget deal. Lawmakers get back to work at the state capitol today as they prepare to pass another budget extender. This would be the 7th extender since the original budget deadline back on April 1st. So far, they've approved an additional $12.7 billion in spending on the late budget. There are issues still needing to be worked out before a final spending plan is approved. The latest budget in state history was back in 2004 at 133 days late. A former Town of New Hartford employee facing a charge of grand larceny for allegedly reporting time worked when that work was not performed. Edgar Lopez Duran of Utica was indicted by an Oneida County grand jury on a charge of grand larceny in the 3rd degree and a Class D felony, which is a Class D felony, along with 6 counts of falsifying business records in the 1st degree. which is a Class E felony. He's accused of stealing over $3,000 from June through September of last year, falsifying timesheets that reported time worked, which was not performed. County Executive Anthony Picenti naming Jamie Drymiller as the county's new animal cruelty coordinator. That position was recently created. Picenti calls it an important position in a step forward for Oneida County. Drymiller will work together with veterinarians, shelters, rescues, and volunteers to ensure swift, compassionate response while building prevention efforts through public education and responsible pet ownership. The cause of a fire at Kennedy Plaza Apartments over the weekend still under investigation. It was confined to the 12th floor of the building. Essentially, one apartment there was damaged, but other apartments sustained water damage. In fact, National Grid had to shut off power to about 15 apartments that were affected by that water damage. Red Cross is assisting the residents who were at least temporarily displaced. And again, the cause still being investigated. No injuries reported. Also, the cause of a fire at the Rome Elks Lodge on Sunday still under investigation. It happened around 1 p.m. Some of the flames did extend into the walls and ceiling, but it was reported as not major damage.
Can I just give you a little insight on that? At the Correspondents dinner, Jimmy Fallow was just on a few minutes ago and said when the shooting and the attempt and the shooting occurred, they shut down the bars. The bars were shut down because they didn't want people to linger. When the fire happened at the Elks Club, the bar remained open. That's the difference. Damn it. Upstate, we're tough.
Bill, we talked about this earlier as well. Some plans are underway to modernize fueling facilities at 27 New York State thruway rest areas. The authority is looking for proposals to upgrade those fuel stations. They include new amenities and electric vehicle charging stations. Current fuel contracts are due to expire in March, and the State Thruway Authority is looking for partners to help design, build, and operate the next generation of those stations.
Do you remember when buying gas on the thruway would mean you'd be paying 25 cents more?
Yeah.
That is not the case anymore. Sometimes you get on the thruway and the cost is a little less than what you might be paying at home. I don't know what they have to. What is going to improve what we currently have? I get it. The electric charging stations. Yeah. It would be nice. And I do see a lot of Teslas on the road, so those would need charging. But I just add more charging stations. Why do we have to make a big thing out of this?
Well, you know what I think it really comes down to is the contract is up. So they're either looking for a better deal, the next deal, or something.
All right.
Well, Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Absolutely beautiful morning. A little bit on the chilly side now as numbers for some of us starting off in the 30s. Sunshine this afternoon, a pleasant 70. Tonight, some clouds, up a few to about 45. North Country will be a little bit cooler. Next change tomorrow in the afternoon, a few showers scattered around, 67. Showers likely Wednesday afternoon, 65. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we have some sunshine and 43 degrees at 8:10. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, congratulations continue to pour in to the Washington family. Mike Washington Jr., of course, originally from Utica, played high school football in the Syracuse area, and then went on to play for a couple of colleges, including Arkansas, where he rushed for over 1,000 yards last season. Mike Washington Jr., taken in the 4th round of the NFL draft. He is now a Las Vegas Raider. Congratulations.
That's huge.
The Mets swept by the Rockies over the weekend, swept in the series and in a doubleheader on Sunday. 18 innings of baseball, the Mets could muster just 1 run all day. They lost 3-1 in the first game, 3-0 in the nightcap. The Mets have lost 3 straight.
You know, I was saying, well, the Mets don't play good when it's cold. Yesterday was beautiful, sunshine, temperatures upper 70s in New York City.
The Mets will stay home where they welcome the Washington Nationals for a 3-game series that starts tomorrow. Sweep the Mets. Sweep the Mets. The Yankees unable to complete a sweep of the Astros in Houston as they lost 7-4 on Sunday. Aaron Judge hit a home run, and how many is it, Smitty? His 10th! He's got 10 home runs now on the season. The Yankees had won 8 in a row. They now visit the Texas Rangers to start a 3-game series tonight in Arlington. The Knicks picked up a win in Game 4 on Saturday over the Atlanta Hawks. In fact, a blowout victory. That best-of-7 series now tied at 2 games apiece. The Knicks are back home hosting the Hawks tomorrow at Madison Square Garden. Elsewhere on Sunday, the Raptors knotted their series with the Cavs at 2 games apiece. The Celtics crushed the 76ers to take a 3-1 lead. The Blazers blew a lead and fell to the Spurs. And the Rockets avoided a sweep at the hands of the Lakers. 3 more games are on tap tonight. NHL playoffs this weekend. The Buffalo Sabres have a 3-1 series lead after a 6-1 victory over the Bruins Sunday. The Avalanche completed a sweep of the Kings. The Lightning now 2-2 with the Canadiens. And the Ducks pulled a 4-3 overtime win over the Oilers. And they now take a 3-1 series lead.
Do you want to know where Juan Soto is in his current statistics?
No, tell me.
Oh, I don't have it. This must be last year. Yeah, it's got to be last year. I don't have it. Sorry.
So can I want to make a point quickly about the thruway rest areas. You had talked about, I don't know this. This is pure speculation on my part. You talked about gas prices. They used to be 20, 25 cents higher on the thruway than at home. And I just wonder what led to that change. Because, Bill, as you pointed out, and people have seen this, sometimes you'll leave your local city or, in this case, Utica, and gas might
Usually it's competitive, but sometimes you get it lower.
Sometimes it's a little lower.
Yeah,
and I just wonder, remember all the questioning and talking about gouging for gas prices when we've seen spikes in gasoline? And I think at some point, maybe somebody from the state said to whoever operates these stations, you're only charging an extra 25 cents a gallon because you can.
Right.
Because there's no competition across the street. And I think that falls in the gouging category, right?
I do wonder now, it seems it's easier to get off and back on now. You don't have to go through a toll booth anymore. So maybe, getting off at one of the gas stations in a nearby town isn't a bad idea if you think you can save money. So staying competitive keeps people on the thruway. Maybe that competition maybe plays a role in that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not positive either, but it's a good thing to see that the prices are down. And again, speaking of gouging, that seems like that was an artificial inflation of the price that had gone on for decades, probably.
Some comments. Amazing. Our local government, schools, county, etc., have had their budget in place by a certain date, but apparently the state and federal governments can do just whatever the heck they like and just keep running these extenders or have shutdowns. That is a fair argument, right?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I called this, and you know why? It was no surprise. It's 15 years in a row now since they've had an on-time budget.
Nagel, you guys should be able to pick up Jazz Chisholm next year. He sucks in the cold. Okay?
Yeah.
Samantha Testa, are you ready? I will donate $500 to someone who can tell me what Katie Aiello has accomplished as a council person besides suing Utica and Herkimer and Oneida counties. That doesn't include wasting $200,000 of ARPA funding, and budget amendments don't count because, they would have cost the city more had they been passed. Because making daily videos about me is just weird. I mean, seriously, she can go on one day. She cannot go one day without mentioning my name. She won't debate me. She won't answer my questions. When I do, she says to sue her. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that she's only there to attack me. Your thoughts?
I don't know about that. I've seen many Katie videos that I guess don't mention Sam by name, but maybe she's making reference to her, I guess. That's possible.
And a lot of people saying that during the Jimmy interview, the phone went down and are now thanking us or thanking Davey for fixing it. Davey, what did you do to fix it?
I put more coins in the little animal that's running around.
I like that answer because we did absolutely nothing. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah.
It was YouTube also, and then YouTube started echoing. So I don't know the reason for that. Probably crappy internet service. That's what I would say. County Clerk Mary Finnegan, please note that the Utica DMV now has extended hours every Wednesday, 8:30 till 5:30. I forgot to mention that. And then on the app, can't hear the caller on the app. Yeah, we got some of that. I don't know why.
I've got one more here on YouTube. This is from John, who I think you've referred to as QAnon John.
Yes.
John, I have a question. Are you a sovereign citizen? I want you to listen to this comment that
What
he
is
made.
a sovereign citizen?
Sovereign citizens feel that essentially the rules and laws that govern our society don't apply to them.
Taxes.
And part of it's taxes. They're the ones who are often, when they are pulled over in their vehicles, they're the ones who say, I'm traveling and I have a right to travel, so you can't stop me or pull me over, and I don't need a driver's license. And they'll go to court and say, I don't respect, you haven't proven your jurisdiction. I don't need to abide by this court's rulings.
Okay.
Usually
it doesn't end well for them?
Well, they do need to abide by it, and often this routine does not buy them any favors from the court. But John says DMV is BS. The only reason they are able to ticket you is because you contract with them, getting their BS. It's not needed. It's unconstitutional. And I think what he's saying is you don't need a driver's license because you're free to travel. John, am I wrong about that? He also followed up by saying, as he often does, he'll say, no, the current laws and orders of this country, and he put a smiley emoji. I love knowing the current laws and orders of this country.
We hear that from him often. I think he's a combination of sovereign and QAnon. Personally, John, you'd have to answer to that.
I don't know what that means,
now,
John.
But I do want to say, who built the roads? Well, we built the roads. Our governments built the roads and the highways. They took the land, oftentimes through eminent domain. So they own it's now public land, and the government, remember, we are the government. We have a right to regulate. We were often told when we were in high school that it is a privilege to be able to drive, not a right, and that the roads need to be maintained and regulated, just like everything else the government regulates. We regulate because we are the government. So I don't buy this sovereign, I can do whatever I want.
That's what
Because if you can, who plows the roads?
He didn't mention it by name.
We forget those little things like, try driving in one of those North Country roads in the middle of the wintertime when you don't have a publicly paid and organized and managed snowplow plowing the roads.
No, look, Bill, here's the problem with your argument. You're approaching this assuming that there is, I think, a serious logic and concern for the plowing of the roads. I really think these sovereign citizens, they come up with this excuse or this argument. They don't care who's responsible for that. They're just looking to get out of the ticket, or they want to give the government the middle finger.
I can relate to that.
I mean, this whole argument that I'm free to travel, which you are free to travel, but you're not free to operate a motor vehicle on a state highway or a federal roadway without licensing, because it is a privilege.
By the way, they give you that option. You can travel by foot.
Yeah, you can walk, ride a bicycle, scooter. You can be a passenger.
You could thumb.
Nobody's saying you can't do that.
Right. But as for driving a vehicle, and a lot of these, when you think about it, insurance. We argue about insurance, and we're like, I can't believe. When I moved to Rhode Island in 1995, they had just passed a law requiring automobile insurance. Prior to that, auto insurance was not required in Rhode Island. And you can look at that and say, God, they're making us pay auto insurance. But guess what? You get somebody that hits you and they're in the wrong, and guess what you love? Auto insurance, because it pays for the entire thing.
Yeah. And
so, I mean, we got to be careful here, because sometimes these are very beneficial to us.
If there's a case where, let's say, someone you're with was injured, right?
Yeah.
And you go to sue that person, and if they don't have car insurance, I think there's a good chance they don't have a lot of other things.
Right. They don't have a house you can get.
Right.
You'll get nothing.
They don't have a multi-million-dollar job.
Yeah.
Like even if you win the lawsuit, you're not going to get anything.
You'll get nothing. Just like Mets fans feel, on the current new dynamic and makeup of the New York Mets. I feel like we spent a lot of money, not we, but you know, and we got nothing. Here's Larry to put an exclamation point on that.
We need Buck Showalter back, Larry.
Bill, here's the thing that no one's saying. What I've heard is Steve Cohen went to the GM and said, go on the cheap this year because he wants to concentrate all his money on the casino he's getting. So if you look at the players he's got AAA players. You're not going to win with AAA players.
No, who's a AAA player on that team?
Ben, he needs more seasoning.
Okay.
Tyrone Taylor, he's a AAA player.
Well, he was only called up because Soto was injured.
Well, right. Taylor actually hit a home run, so one of the few that performed this weekend.
You got Beatty and Vientos last year up and down with AAA. Roberts for Chicago White Sox. You see him play last year. He'll come down to earth. He's horrendous. So you don't have any hitters. So if you get 1 or 2 runs a game, that's a lot, I think, for this team. Because they don't have anybody.
It does not feel like this is a very good team
at
all.
The thing. If a team scores 3 or 4 runs early, the Mets should be able to walk off the field and say, okay, we give up because there's no sense of embarrassing ourselves.
By the way, Juan Soto, in the games that he has played, because remember he was injured, is batting .304 right now. He's had only 1 home run and 5 RBIs. But in those clutch situations that Manaski complains about, there was one yesterday, a perfect example. 8th inning, you're down 3-1, bases loaded, and what did he do? Nothing.
Yeah. Well,
right.
They also mentioned that from now on they're just going to pitch around him because he's the only one that can hurt him, and then take your chances after that because no one's going to hit.
Look, and I have to say that's why I think Lindor should be further down the lineup.
Well, right now he's out of the lineup. I don't know how long that's going to last, but
I mean, they don't have any really hitters to hit home runs. I mean, they got rid of Nimmo and McNeil and Alonso. Those are home run hitters. Who do they have now to hit a home run?
Well, I feel like they got rid of the heart of the team, the glue that kept the team together. And I'm this current dynamic has not gelled at all. So, all right, could be a long year, Larry. Bills start playing preseason in August, so.
Oh, that's what you look forward to.
It's just around the corner. So, all right, thank you, man.
I think so.
All right.
I look forward to the New York Giants, football Giants next season, but let's not skip summer, guys.
I agree. Good point.
Can we enjoy some sunshine and nice weather like we had yesterday before we get to fall?
Even nicer than that, I would like.
Yes.
Quick break. Coming up, we'll speak on the Community Foundation and their Mohawk Valley Gives program, which is awesome. We felt like we did pretty well. Real men get tested for cancer last year. And also, County Executive Anthony Pacini, there's news this morning on Special Olympics. A big announcement coming up. Hold it tight.
The Memorial Day sale is on at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Get a prepaid gas card with your new bed, up to $1,000 gas card on select king and queen sets. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers. No credit check payment plans available every day. Any king or queen set in the store except Tempur-Pedic gets a free adjustable base upgrade. Free. You don't have to pay anything extra. Massage chairs get a $500 prepaid gas card. Folks, this is big. And no one in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we have. Their sale is our sale. Remember that. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. 14 locations across upstate New York. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or vason-capted pagel, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333.
Our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative John Mannion are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hello, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Picenti. This year marks the 250th birthday of the United States, and we've assembled a special commission to help organize events across our community. In the months ahead, we'll highlight why this is such a historic time for our region. From the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the turning point of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Oriskany. You'll learn about the people, events, and local impact that shaped our nation. Our goal is simple, to help you love the history where you live, right here in Oneida County.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, portions of the program brought to you by River Hills Properties, and they continue to grow in the region. It's all about services provided, the extra things that they do, the hard work they put into it to make life easier for anyone looking to sell their home. They have offices in Barneveld and Little Falls, in Newport, and of course Rome, and the amazing Gulf Coast of Florida, Sarasota, if you're considering maybe being one of those snowbirds. It is all over the place, Davey. It is River Hills Properties. Call them today, 315-896-1009. And nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Can I do just a couple of quickies here before we move on? I have a conspiracy theory for you. And
Properties, perfect.
Can I do just a couple of quickies here? Oh, boy. I guess I hit that. Maybe that'll stop that from happening. Let's see. All right. So Saturday night, the Correspondents dinner. Here's when the gunshots were first heard, and then the plates go down from Saturday. A lot of shots. They were shooting. He was shooting. They were shooting at him. But I don't think he was shot. The shooter.
It's troubling if he wasn't.
Yeah, I
How
don't
can there
think
be
he was
that many
shot.
people shooting at him? And he was he in the
some
Matrix
of those shots were
or
from
something?
him. Here are the remarks from President Trump afterwards.
That was very unexpected, incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement, and this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press and in a certain way it did.
I thought his speech was very kind to reporters, which I normally don't expect out of the president. However, it went right back to ripping on them during the 60 Minutes interview with, I think, Norah MacDonald. He ripped on her pretty hard. This is the press corps president from CBS talking about how the president
he insists
wanted to continue.
We'll reschedule this event in the next 30 days.
All right, we get another party.
Yes.
Yeah. Dana White was there. He said the chaos was awesome.
Tables getting flipped over, guys running in with guns, and they were screaming, "Get down!" I didn't get down. It was awesome. I literally took every minute of it in, and it was a pretty crazy, unique experience.
Would you expect anything else from Dana White?
No.
And then, if you want a good conspiracy, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt was interviewed on the red carpet before it all happened, before the event. Saturday night.
She said,
this is before the event. This is what she said.
This speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
That was Jimmy doing the interview, as a matter of fact. We should have asked him about that. There will be some shots fired. Everybody's going wild about that. Obviously, we don't think, right?
I don't think that, and we should be better with our rhetoric, though.
Probably, yeah. And then one other thing I wanted to mention is thank everybody who was giving me advice on the post-RSV. A month and like a week ago, I had RSV, and it continued to... I was having that terrible problem in my trachea and my lungs and breathing, and finally I went back to the doctor again, and he gave me the steroid inhaler, which comes with some potential risks, so I really didn't want to take it. But so Thursday I got it, didn't take it. Friday I was going to take it for the weekend, but I started to feel better. All right, I'll decide Saturday. So Saturday I was going to take it, and I felt better. Sunday, nothing. It was like it was all gone.
Good.
So the fear, my body's fear of taking a medicine like that, just wiped it right out of me. So it only cost me $20, but I do have a steroid inhaler that I'm selling on the black market for $99. Mm-hmm. It is sealed. It's not been opened. If you're interested, just give me a call after the program. So I don't think I can. Can you legally do that?
No, I don't think so. I
know
you can't do that.
I don't know why.
I don't think so. I know you can't.
In studio right now is Kayla Ellis and Courtney Turner from the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties. Guys, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So this happens in the fall.
You're right. Yep. Mohawk Valley Gives happens in September. This year, it'll be September 18th. It's on a Friday.
So mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars. Real Men Get Tested. We did pretty well thanks to you guys. So.
Incredible. Yeah. Last year was amazing.
It was good. And a lot of people did well. A lot of organizations did really, really well. The key, though, is you have to sign up.
You have to sign up.
And that's where we are now.
Yes. So Courtney and I were excited to be here today and talk about nonprofit registration. So in order for a nonprofit to participate in Mohawk Valley Gives, they have to register. Whether you've participated in the past or whether you're totally new, you have to go to givemv.org. Just one representative per organization has to do this.
All right.
There's a brief registration form. I think it's maybe 15 questions, not a lot. And you submit it. It goes through, our vetting process, and then as long as you're, a 501c3 that is in good standing with the IRS or are fiscally sponsored by a 501c3, you're ready to roll.
Yeah.
So if I could, Real Men Get Tested is our 501c3 is through the Community Foundation. So, which is an awesome service that you guys provide But that doesn't change it. You could be you don't have to be affiliated with a community foundation in order to enter here, right?
That's
Not in
correct.
any way.
Yeah.
Any nonprofit serving Herkimer or Oneida counties can sign up for Mohawk Valley Gives.
Last year was a record year.
Sure was. Yeah, last year we raised over $6.5 million. And going into this year, this will be our 5th year. We are just over $14 million. So we're really excited to see what the community has in store for us in year 5.
I kind of equate this to you can go to a garage sale. Or you
I
can
love
go
where
to
this is going.
Or you can go to the world's largest garage sale or a community-wide garage sale, and you're hitting a ton of them all at once.
All at once.
That's kind of what this is.
It is. And when we get to the Giving Day, I think that's one of the amazing features is that you'll be able to give to multiple organizations in one transaction. So you don't have to check out multiple times. You just add them all to your shopping cart, and we're really excited. Last year we had 382 total nonprofits that participated. So I think we're really secretly kind of hoping that we'll cross that 400 mark this year.
Nice.
I think that we will. We've got some exciting stuff in the works for those nonprofits throughout the summer months. So we'll be hosting the Community Foundation in partnership with Up Mobility Foundation. We'll be hosting a series of trainings throughout the summer to get the nonprofits really ready and geared up for the campaign.
Important probably to promote. If you're running commercials, it would be an idea to say, hey, be sure to give to us when it comes to Giving Day, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else? Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, is this separate or the same as, because I'm on the website and there's the Mohawk Valley Giving Guide, and these kind of highlight some projects here. Excuse me, City of Utica Youth Bureau, the Farms of AD. City of Utica Youth Bureau, is that considered a 501c3 or is that a government?
I believe they are a 501c3.
They are,
yeah, either that or they must be fiscally sponsored by an organization that's a 501c3. But you bring up a great point. So the Mohawk Valley Giving Guide is almost like an extension of Mohawk Valley Gives. So think of it as like the year-round equivalent. So Mohawk Valley Gives happens once a year, and we were like, we kind of want a way for the community to support different nonprofit needs all throughout the year. And so we just launched that about a month ago, the Mohawk Valley Giving Guide. And it's the same type of thing. You can go on, you can add donations to your shopping cart. $10 is the minimum, and you can support as many as you'd like.
Things like, of course, I'm partial to baseball, Rome Baseball, Clinton Little League, looking to enhance some of the fields, Boy Scouts of America Leather Stocking Council, and it outlines the local project that they want to complete. And then there's a fundraising guide, a guide here as well, like might be $2,500, might be $1,000, so you can support that way also.
Yes,
exactly.
Amazing.
Anything else you want people to know?
So for nonprofits interested in participating in Mohawk Valley Gives, registration runs starting today right through May 31st.
Okay.
And there is no registration fee. It's completely free to participate in Mohawk Valley Gives.
All right. I love it. Listen, I think it's and for the giver, this is also very, very good and convenient because you can, as you say, with your shopping cart, you can just click on a bunch of them, and the tax write-off is all a part of this, right?
All in one. Yeah. So you'll get an email directly after you make donations on the site. Same thing with the Mohawk Valley Giving Guide.
Yeah.
And that's your tax receipt. It's right there.
It's the
done
easiest
for you.
way to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're trying to, get a receipt from each individual organization, and this way it's all done for you.
Absolutely. Quick and easy.
And there are some people who make sizable donations, and it can be a significant
impact on
your tax return.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything?
I just want to give one big shout out to this year we've got 3 presenting sponsors for Mohawk Valley Gives, which is amazing. This is the most we've had in the whole almost 5 years that we've done this. Staffworks, M&T Bank, and Utica National Insurance Group.
Nice.
Major shout out. The event couldn't happen without them.
All right. We appreciate what you guys are doing.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, the website, go to
givemv.org.
Givemv.org. I'm going to try to do that this year on my own.
Please do.
Tim, maybe you ought to do it. He just seems more organized than me, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Quick break. And County Executive Anthony Picenti with an announcement here this morning. Coming right up.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big 3 carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55-plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service. With 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50-plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call. Ask about the 55-plus plan you've earned. See how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the 3rd straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, let me do just a couple things here before we bring in the county executive. Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients right now. And I thought it was quite interesting having Dr. Zielinski and Dr. Mattern on last week and talking about one of the things that happens all the time. You get booked for a 2 o'clock appointment. You get in by 4:30. And it just is, it ruins your whole day, especially if you're leaving work. As Dr. Mattern says, that does not happen at the Falcon Clinic. And the other part of this is they give you the time that you need. Insurance companies put a lot of pressure on get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out. That's how profits are made. but it does not give doctors the opportunity to give the patient the time that they deserve. And you will get that at the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Shemolinsky, Zielinski, Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, the list goes on, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, 315-507-4751. And in studio right now is the county executive, Anthony Pacini. And good morning.
Good morning.
Getting you on. All right. It was nice to have a nice weather on a weekend.
Yeah,
it landed on a weekend.
Even Saturday it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
rain
bad
for a while,
Yeah.
but then it seemed to clear up. And yesterday was really beautiful. Today's gorgeous.
Today looks great, even part of tomorrow, and then it's going to get crappy again. But it's pretty good. Also, I wanted, before we get into this, mention it seems like you're ramping up now for the 250th, which we're doing a lot. And then next year there'll be another celebration. So I like this focus on history.
There will, and we did a couple things this weekend. At the Riscony Museum, they planted a tree, a Liberty tree. Which signifies it was significant for the 250th and kind of commemoration of what was planted in Boston years ago. So all of these little things, even though they're small, it really talks about the history of this community and our significance in the Revolution.
I thought the Liberty Tree was interesting. I was taken aback a bit when the woman got upset that I called it the Bibberty Tree. I don't know why, but I don't get that commercial. The whole I do not get that commercial. Although
that
what
whole
are we
series
doing?
Of
What are we doing?
It's silly.
It started.
Is.
Yeah.
But here we are. What are we doing? We're
talking
talking
about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Liberty Bibberty.
And how many people went and switched insurance because of it?
Right. They probably did.
What's the name of the bird? Isn't the one with the bird?
Oh, the emu?
The emu.
Oh, no,
that's
the emu.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud to say, with Utica National. That's where our insurance is. And they did the Forgo agency, as long as I can do a little plug. Okay, we have some big news.
Sure. Do we have...
we do. Let me bring on Stacy.
Is Stacy on the line?
Yes, she is. Stacy is with Special Olympics. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning. Hi, County Executive.
How are you?
Very good. Very excited.
We are very excited because we're going to have a press conference on Wednesday morning at the county office building in the board chambers. Stacy will be there, and we will be kicking off the Special Olympics in Oneida County on June 5th and 6th.
Nice.
Stacy, I'll let you take it from there.
Yes, we have our summer games that is coming to Utica. We are so excited. We have 1,200 athletes and coaches that are coming to the area, staying on the campus in Utica University and competing in their sports.
That's huge.
It really is. And we're fortunate to lock them in for a couple years here in Oneida County, and we're excited about that because we know that, first of all, the Special Olympics has been really an outstanding organization in New York State, and has showcased so many of these athletes and moved around the state in different locations. And we had it here many years ago, but we're really pleased and really excited about having it back. And it's just another piece of what we're doing here in Oneida County, especially in this realm. To watch these athletes is something really exciting, and I hope everybody, aside from the families and others that are participating locally and in the region, but I hope everyone gets a chance to come out and see some of the events.
Where will the venues be?
The venues will be at Utica University.
Okay.
There'll be Stacy. Where else are we?
We're Nexus Center has the powerlifting. We're doing swimming out at Hamilton College.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Utica, we're using their tennis courts, and Mohawk Valley Community College, we're doing volleyball. So
we spread it all over the place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we have Utica, MVCC, the city, Hamilton. I mean, every of our academic institutions being utilized here, and we're excited about that. And I just think it's really a special thing to bring to this community.
You really made us feel. I'm sorry, you really made us feel so great about coming. I mean, it's unprecedented support from the county. We pay for all of the costs for our athletes to travel and to stay and to eat and to do all that. We certainly could not do that without the support. And I think, really our first press conference saying we were going to be there was probably our most attended I've ever seen. The enthusiasm from the whole community has really been heartwarming.
Stacey, I was going to ask you where Special Olympics is located, and then the events that are happening, and the importance of this for families and for the participants. How important this is.
Well, I mean, I think the Special Olympics for our athletes is everything. I mean, it's their chance to compete competitively in authentic sports, have their families and the communities cheer them on. The Summer Games is really the culminating event for them. They have been practicing and training in their communities for the past 8 weeks. They have different practices and then different regional competitions. And where we're located is all across New York. We're headquartered in Albany, but we have offices and we have 9 different regions across the state. New York City, Buffalo, everywhere that New York State has a region. So Utica, Oneida County, it's really centrally located. So our athletes are super psyched to be able to come. And then they get the weekend away. Maybe families come watch them. I hope they do. But also, be quite frank, I hope they're also, maybe the families are taking the weekend to go out to dinner and not have to be caregiver or helper this weekend, and they get a little time. So we're providing a little respite to some families too while, the athletes are having a great so it's you'll see a little bit of everything.
Nice.
And we're almost in place, except we need about 300 volunteers.
That's
so
the
I'm
big
hoping
thing.
That's the big
call
thing this week.
And that's what we're going to call out on Wednesday morning. We need some more volunteers for this. It's a great experience if you haven't participated and really be a part of this and be a part of this. Really outstanding organization, but also to interact with these athletes and their families and have a good time at the same.
I think I'm not sure how much you know about this community, Stacey, but for volunteering, you've probably come to the right place.
Yes.
This is a very giving community, so I'm confident you'll do well there.
Yes. Well, if I get the turnout we did at our first press conference, I'm going to be very satisfied. We also are doing something a little new. This year we're doing a health fest and doing health screenings in 5 different in dentistry, audiology, optometry. We usually do this for our athletes at our big games, but we're opening it up to the communities. So we're also looking for agencies and community members that feel like they need a health screening. They can come by and get a free health screening. So in addition to our regular sports volunteers, we're looking for medical students, health professionals, those that might want to help out with the health screenings as well.
I'd also like to recognize that we'll talk about them more on Wednesday, but we were mentioning insurance. Utica National Insurance, one of the sponsors. Let me just go. I got a list so I don't forget. Community Foundation, you just had in here of Herkimer and Oneida counties, Gallagher, UFCW, Chobani, the Bank of Utica, the Elks, the Mohawk Valley Health Systems, National Grid, MBT Bank, WellNow, BBL Hospitality, Rap Kings, and ARACAP Foundation. I mean, just the name, and hopefully there's more.
Economic impact.
We'll always take more.
We can always take more.
Yeah,
exactly.
What kind of economic impact is this?
For us, I think it's a significant one in which even though the athletes stay at the college because we like to keep everybody in check, but there are visitors that come and watch their families that come and watch, and so for the couple days that they're here, again we're filling hotels, we're restaurants, we're doing all kinds of things, especially with the sponsors that are there. So and then you have the volunteers, so you have that overall impact of everybody doing something different that weekend and really just adding to what we already have in place.
Stacey, you want to add to that?
Yes, we have. I mean, we really come in droves. We have, having a board meeting is there. our staff all comes in, the families come in. We have volunteers. In addition to those in the community, we have loyal volunteers that come from all over the state and don't miss a game. So I really do think you'll see the community buzzing with folks that are there to enjoy the weekend, to eat in the restaurants and catch up with each other. It's a time that, we can catch up with others from the state that have been part of the Special Olympics community. So it really is a great time. I think it's great for families to come volunteer. I think it's great for high school sports teams, college sports teams to come and do something together as a team. It's great for community service hours. I know there's lots of students out there this time of year that's looking for some community service hours. Just go to our website, specialolympicsny.org, and you'll see the different volunteer opportunities.
And we talked about the areas of play in terms of where these events are taking place, and they're scattered across the county, so people get an opportunity to see whether you're at Hamilton College, whether you're over at MVCC or at the Parkway at the tennis courts or at Utica University, Nexus.
Yeah.
So people get an opportunity to see all that we have to offer and really, different parts of this county.
All right.
Yeah, and I think I also want to just say for the sports fans out there, you are coming to volunteer, but this is, and you might have an idea of Special Olympics, but you're going to see some really, really good sports.
Yeah, very good athletes.
It's a really good competition, and I think it's going to blow your mind. I hope everyone can come out.
All right, Stacey Hegsterman, thank you so much for the time. And Wednesday is the press conference. Volunteers needed, and we appreciate you coming on here this morning. Thank you.
Great. All right, I'll see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday,
so much.
Stacey. Bye-bye.
I wanted to ask you quickly, and we have like a minute on this, but Sentinel did a story on saying the ambulances that are going to win say they're reaching a breaking point. Thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting. We just had a meeting on Friday with the CEO, with Dr. Lacates at MBHS and our emergency service office director Fran Manfredo and our EMS coordinator, and they have that article was put together some weeks ago. Although still a challenge, I think they are reaching a breaking point on the aspect of ambulances. I think we have pretty much over the last few weeks and with working with MBHS, but their leadership has alleviated some of the backup at the hospital.
So there's improvement.
So there's been improvement at the hospital piece. There's still a challenge. I mean, there's no question there's a challenge on EMS with providers and with ambulance services and across the state. Yep. It's not just here. We've talked about that, but it's getting better, and we could talk more about that another time.
All right, good deal, County Executive. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think this is a really big event coming to the.
It really is. I really can, and the fact that they've signed on for a couple of years with us is really significant as well. They really love the venue and the location.
Nice.
Where we are is significant.
Yeah. We are the center. I mean, the center is right near us.
We are.
All right, thank you. Steep Pawnee Mazda, as they wind down their New Year, New Mazda event, take advantage of 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 CX-5s, 0.9% on turbo models. Rick says, come on in and let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steep Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And brought to you by New York Sash. 20% off their bath program right now. In 2 days, you could have a brand new bathroom, and it's beautiful. Go to NewYorkSash.com for details.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
He faces assault and firearms charges for now. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but more could be coming for Cole Allen, the suspected attacker at the White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night. He's doing federal court today.
America deserves answers. President Trump has committed to transparency and accountability.
And FBI Director Kash Patel tells Fox investigators have a lot to look at.
To include emails, social media postings, witness interviews, interviews with people, family, friends, and neighbors, so we can provide a complete picture of this individual's mindset and intent.